Serious, what past experience made you completely change the way you were? The whole inheritance thing with my father's family. Money really does bring out our true metal. I had a brain injury that completely wiped my long-term memory. I have an extremely hard time making short-term memories now, too. I was in a coma at a long-term care facility and came around. Did months of physical and voc rehab. I did not recognize my adopted dad or my then boyfriend or friends. I had to start completely over in 2019. It's been so hard. Open heart surgery. I found out at 43 years old that needed heart surgery for a genetic heart defect I was born with but didn't know I had. I was in stage 3 heart failure. I went from diagnosis to surgery in 6 months. Scared the crap out of me. I had never had surgery of any type before. I came home from the hospital a new person. I'm so much nicer to people and I'm generally much happier. I really appreciate life. When my ex-husband was having an affair with my mother. Now, I'll never get married and family can't be trusted. Being in an abusive relationship where everything that brought me joy was degraded and insulted. I absolutely hate showing people my stuff, or doing things that make me happy in case someone laughs at me. I realized that my mental health was garbage, and the people I surrounded myself with were just as bad. They were struggling mentally, we were all each other's verbal punching bags, and we all demeaned each other constantly. I made the decision to cut them off as soon as I could, focused on unlearning the anger issues I had developed, and put an end to bullying as a form of bonding. Building a motorcycle. I have always been a handy guy, but I looked at things like mechanics, house builders, welders, etc. as something I couldn't do. Turns out, you can just go do stuff. The only roadblock is how much effort you want to put into it. That POS motorcycle that I pulled out of a yard and turned into something cool changed me. It made me more confident. Getting pulled over by 4 cop cars and being arrested and charged with a DWI. It was the 4th time I had gone to jail for being sloppy drunk and the first time to admit I had a problem. Already had a wife and 2 kids at this point and decided to make a change. After a bankruptcy, losing all my friends, rehab, and AA, I was finally able to stop drinking and drugging. Haven't had a single drink in almost 9 years now. Not really one experience, but as a teenager I was an overly opinionated / ignorant bitch. People tried to tell me but I'd take it personally and lash out. As I got older I started listening to people and realized how I was acting. I'm much calmer now and I understand that my opinions aren't always right or need to be heard. Losing a family member, seeing how greedy and evil people are for the money / will / trust / insurance policy. People will do anything for money even if it means losing their loved ones in the process. It's sad but eye-opening. This might seem ridiculous, but experiencing DMT helped me accept other people's religious beliefs as something that can help them deal with life's challenges, and give them a place to store things they don't understand to help them move forward with life. It didn't make me religious, but it helped me get over my negative thoughts about other people's. I got stabbed. It hurt like hell. After that day I haven't experienced anything that hurt as much. Not even getting seriously kicked in the balls with full force had anything on that. After that day I started to fear pain much less because I always thought that can't be any worse than getting stabbed, right? The YouTube algorithm told me to watch Chef Jean-Pierre dice an onion. I did. I went from never cooking to a master chef. I don't know why that was trigger, but it was, and holy shit, I eat good now. Downside, my wife makes me cook every night. Volunteering for a physically and mentally handicapped center in Kolkata. At the end of 2 years being there I could say that they gave me a lot more than what I could ever give them. Forever grateful for the experience. 1. My girlfriend got raped on her way home from a party by a group of guys. Broke her completely and made me more careful at all but especially with women. 2. Finding out that the man who raised me is not my biological father. Everyone knew except me. Since then I always insist of getting to know the whole painful truth instead of the sweet lie. My younger sister dying from cancer. Now I don't put things off or hesitate to accept invitations to anything. If I want something and have the money I buy it. If I'm feeling rough for any reason I just think of what my sister went through. Any problems I just think of what she used to say to me, just get on with it. Still miss you, Chris. Parents couldn't afford electric or running water. Went without for years. Felt quite like an unplugging from the Matrix. Used to be the obnoxious American type, then lived overseas in a country where immigrants would murder each other for $3 a day job that was back-breaking labor in 110-degree heat. Puts some shit in perspective. 2 things that changed me. Getting out of an abusive marriage. I will not accept controlling, abusive behavior from anyone now. Watching the absolute love of my life die in my arms. Something is broken now. Endometriosis diagnosis. I stopped wallowing in my pain and decided to enjoy my life despite it. I've accepted that the pain isn't going to go away, and now I can just live a happy life with it instead of waiting for a life without it. No joke, changing an exhaust system on a car. I thought working on cars was like magic only certain people could do. Really, it's as easy as cutting off something and putting something new on. People try to convince you the world is difficult, but it's easy if you pay attention. Sad. I don't trust anyone and don't like people close to me anymore. I also have to be blackout drunk if I'm gonna have sex, lol. I used to almost drink nothing but Coca-Cola. Kidney stones put a quick end to that. I had a 12-pack at home at the time. Finished it off and haven't bought myself another once since. Drink your water, peeps. When I was 18, I was hit by a car while walking across the crosswalk. Since then I pay way more attention to my surroundings, and it's changed the way I trust walking on the street. I would have never thought of it before. Realizing what being trans is and realizing I can be a woman if I want to. I grew up always wanting to be a girl but not realizing that being trans was an option. When I realized that is actually an option, I started down that road, and I am significantly happier for doing it. I still have a lot of progress to make, but I could never go back to being a man. My mom going to federal prison for 6 years. This happened when I was a senior in high school. Since my family wasn't so great, I lived couch to couch and even sometimes on the street. Taught me that family is just a word and anybody could be considered family. Depends on how they act and treat you when you're down at your lowest point. And most importantly, it taught a great deal of independence. Meeting my boyfriend changed a lot of stuff in my mind. Sadly, sometimes in the worst. I realized how strict and abusive my family was, got the courage to talk back, that's the bad part, TWT, got a lot more self-confidence / self-esteem, plus realized that my friends are also extremely bad than just a little, and finally got to find others. I got so much confidence and so much better in life that I'm actually sad that I can't pay it back.